All right, so no matter where I go, people who say that they'll help me have expectations for that help. Now, whether or not I'm able to fulfill the obligations that they expect of me doesn't make any difference to anybody. I have a penis, so I'm expected to magic up results. I'm not okay with that. Oh, Jesus. You missed my whole introduction. We gotta try to call during the day while these places are open. We got to try to coordinate long distance to get these calls done, and it takes literally weeks, if not months. One of the things with Claire, you get to hear how she keeps interrupting to talk about herself, and for good reason, yeah. But at the same time, if we're going to help turn in the stuff that is being done to me, she needs to stop telling me she understands and listen to the specifics so she knows what crimes we are turning in, what officers did what and when. She needs to know what we're turning in, not tell me repeatedly, oh, I understand, I understand, I understand. Or tell me a story that she believes will show me that she understands. No, don't do that. I don't need you to do that. That's not helpful. It is the opposite of helpful. See, when you got two people who are having similar issues, you still have to separate what's happening to who. If you're going to interrupt my story to tell your story all the time, you're missing my story altogether. I am listening to yours. I speak out about yours. I can do things that parents can't do. Parents can't do these things because they'll lose their kids. When it gets to the point the parents can't protect their kids or they will lose their kids, we're in a pretty screwed up country. One of the women I know summed it up by saying, you know what, women are used to getting free stuff. If people gave you free stuff the way they give women free stuff, wouldn't you accept it? Depends on what it is and what's required. What am I expected to do? What am I expected to jump through in order to get that? Is it really free? If you're expected to subject your body to damage that you can't repair, is it really free? If you have to endure physical and psychological damage, is it really free? If you have to spend money to travel to a place and spend the time to go to that place, is it really free? Someone calling himself I'm in long typed, hey dude, I'm sorry, Natalie family and her ruined your life. Well, that's one of the things that's difficult to get past is the number of people who say they're sorry. Don't be sorry, be proactive. You think it's wrong, then speak up about how wrong it is. The thing is, people don't try to understand how much wrong there is that I'm dealing with. How often I have to endure abuse by police officers no matter where I go because of an officer named Waylon Lobatai. Maybe I should play something from Claire while I'm here. I've only got this room for another hour to talk to someone, so we can call someplace.
I hope you're okay today. I watched your videos. As always, nothing redacted. Thank you for posting those for yourself and mine. I'm pretty pissed off today because, the authorities decided that even though the mandatory reporters went ahead and started filing charges against my ex, they said that they weren't going to pursue any of the allegations, that they didn't think it was necessary. And it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. My 15-year-old daughter was abducted to Florida, drugged, and then her ex-stepfather was getting her blackout drunk, and then some other things that she wouldn't let me sit in the room for when she was talking to the police regarding sexual matters. So I don't even know how bad it is. And they still are telling me that it's not enough to pursue. It blows my mind. If my 15-year-old daughter can go to the police officer that's a part of her high school campus and drop the bomb that her ex-stepfather gave her weed and alcohol, and she not only just said it, but she got caught with the weed and the paraphernalia and said it was from him, and that's still not enough for me to get a fucking restraining order? How in the ever-loving fuck is someone like you supposed to get any kind of justice whatsoever? My 15-year-old daughter is being stalked, drugged, and was being, blackout drunk, and admits to it in front of a fucking officer on a fucking badge cam, and CPS says, we're not going to pursue it. How in the hell is someone like you, Sean, supposed to stand up for yourself for shit like the crap that happened with Natalie and all of the fallout? It blows my mind. They don't care.
Now, is she yelling at me? No. But if I do that, I get accused of yelling, don't I? What are people's ideas and suggestions that I should do? Some people think I should go get a taser. That'd scare the bejesus out of the bejesus, won't it? I got one. Every time somebody assaults me, I record it instead. Why do I record it? Because I don't want anybody getting hurt. And when people hurt me, I do want justice. I do want them to stop. I do want there to be consequences for people who do those things, especially to disabled people, especially to homeless people. And at this point, we got to say, especially to men. There's enough men out there getting away with doing this screwy stuff. Some of the things I was trying to send her, they're about the different laws around here, some of the other people involved. Here's one of the videos.
Apparently there's someone yelling at my car about Apparently there's someone yelling at my car about hiring someone to beat them up. Oh, it's Chris Stafford trying to pretend I hired someone to beat him up. 909 PCT. Fucking little girl stalking piece of shit, motherfucker. I told you. Cops are gonna fucking laugh at you. You're a piece of shit. Yep, that literally just happened. That's Chris Stafford. He insulted me and threatened my life on multiple occasions. Yep, I told you. You fucking hired somebody to fucking try to beat my ass. Ain't nobody trying to hire no. Stop! Stop! Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me! No, you can't! Get away from me! 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 Jomo. This is the Tillamook Library parking lot. He's trying to claim I hired somebody to beat him up. What a fucking nut job. You hearing this goddamn schizophrenic bullshit out of this piece of fucking shit? Jesus fucking Christ.
By the way, there were witnesses to that. Obviously, I didn't bring up the fact that people were throwing rocks at my vehicle in that video. I was going to stick to, well, what I could record. Now, when I first started it, I was going to explain that somebody was throwing rocks. But I wanted to start off with what I was hearing people screaming at me, or someone screaming at me. Didn't know it was Chris Stafford at the time. And of course, when I got out of my vehicle to see who it was and make sure I recorded it, well, he was obviously not finished. So, did I get to explain the whole situation with him throwing rocks and screaming shit? No, I didn't. There's a piece of paper for getting protection order against him, and the lady who helped me to fill it out at least part of the way, you still got to finish and turn it in, but she's been busy. She usually wakes up around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, I mean, there's absolutely always a lot going on.
I'm leaving, John. You don't need to come walk by me after antagonizing me and assaulting me. Yeah. Just get the hell away from me. You don't get to assault me, dude. I don't give a fuck what your excuse is. Nobody fucking assaulted you or harassed you, asshole. Nobody fucking touched you. Yeah? You fucking junky piece of shit. See, now you're being a fucking junky piece of shit.
Now that situation, that guy, John, by the time this recording here comes around, this is the second assault in one morning. And John, he tends to have the same patterns every time. He's okay with me recording, but then, of course, something fucked up happens. And then he's pissed off because he heard I was recording him. And then he comes back after being angry with me and wants to apologize. Yeah, I remember. I told you it's okay. I'm not trying to hide anything. It's okay to record. I was just angry, that's all. Okay, well, the thing is, I'm not going to stop recording, with most of the recordings with him. He literally walks up in the middle of me recording something that's not related to him. So I'm already recording when he approaches my vehicle in public. Like I'm stuck in public, when people are being harmed and the police won't do anything and their friends and family don't give a shit, sometimes a person's got to do desperate things to get heard, even though we shouldn't have to. I'll try calling Claire one more time. Now, obviously, situation that I'm having to deal with is very fucked up. People do have their own lives. She's trying to coordinate with people that they're not doing anything helpful or useful. That's for goddamn sure. We also both have a lot of respect for the Hispanic peoples that we've encountered for the most part, because they're the ones that have taken care of us.
To be fair, I did have one officer call me back this morning that said that they were going to look into all of the technicalities and see if they could charge any kind of press any kind of charges. Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking overwhelmed and overstimulated. Anyway.
We'll pause it there because that's not just an autistic trait. That's also a PTSD trait. The police are able to play them head games and those word games by twisting things out of context and also by intentionally omitting evidence, like the body cam evidence. These officers believe that their words should be, greater than the word of the Almighty himself even. Thou shalt not lie, and then at least 20% of officers lie on the stand about 20% of the time. But they're officers, so unless you have money, nobody cares that they broke the law. You're stuck with a public pretender, nobody cares.
He called me to tell me that they understand what she said to them in person, and they're trying their best to figure out what they can do to press charges on our behalf. The fact that they have to wrap their brain and dig deep into legal matters to try and figure out what kind of loophole they can manipulate is bullshit. It's bullshit.
The reason they do that is because some officers fucked up real big. So they got to try to find some way to ignore all of the screw-ups of the other officers because they'll get in deep shit. So you have to dig deep for some little loophole that you can arrest somebody on, kind of like Al Capone. Al Capone, they could have gotten him on some very serious charges. But one officer screwed it up, and then the best they could get him on was tax evasion. It happens. Of course, a lot of cops would have lost their jobs for corruption. You can't be having that.
This is a 15-year-old girl and a 5-year-old girl. This man has been stalking us, and then he ego flex about the stalking. He sends me screenshots and says, "Oh yeah, I met this person that works at your daughter's school, and she sent me a video." And I'm like, that's creepy as shit. And there's a lot. Anyway, my point is that I'm just barely starting to get traction, and everything but the police officers are now let me reword this.
Yeah, you get frustrated. The whole thing becomes a giant friggin' mess. And you gotta try to formulate words to express it properly without offending somebody. Because if you say, "Oh, well, my kid got abducted, for fuck's sake," you're a terrible person for saying, "for fuck's sake." Or when you accidentally say police officer instead of deputy, and then they're highly offended by shit like that. No, this is fucking inhumane. Americans are disgusting people to the homeless. If you're not busy victimizing us directly, you're victimizing us indirectly by looking the other way. And then when it happens to you, you and a bitch, you didn't know it was like this. Yes, you did. You were just busy treating all the people that told you like they're drug addicts, junkies, alcoholics, woman beaters, rapists, child molesters. Now it's your turn to get treated that way. Obviously, with that bullshit going on in Claire's life, where's she gonna find the time, even if she apportions the time? When she finally did call back, I was in the bathroom, so I had to hang up on her. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I was literally in the bathroom when she called. Let me finish my business, wash my hands real quick, and then I'll call you back.
The police officers are finally starting to try to figure out how to gain traction on this. But all of the mandatory reporters that have put in reports regarding our family situation over the last 2 weeks, all the proper authorities have come back and said that they're not going to pursue anything. They're not going to look into it. There's no need. And so right now I have 2 officers, exactly 2, in this whole fucking country that are starting to take it seriously. And I don't know why it's so fucking hard. My daughter sat in front of a police officer with her principal, her school principal, and the social worker, and just unloaded. And that wasn't enough. And it was some scary shit. Illegal shit. Undeniably illegal shit. She flat out said that her ex-stepfather, Joshua Stomberg, had been getting her drugs and alcohol. And the reason they were talking to her was because she got caught with those things on her person at school, because she had finally spilled the beans to me that he was doing things like getting her blackout drunk, and she was scared that I would take those things away from her because she's brainwashed. And so she brought them to school. They caught her, talked to her, put her on badge cam, and the authorities still don't think it's a big deal. How in the fuck are people like you and I supposed to get justice for ourselves? That's a 15-year-old girl. That man is not her biological father. He abducted her. I told them he was drugging her. I told them that he poisoned and drugged me. She gave them the proof. She handed it over in the last 2 weeks. And it's still not compelling enough for them to do jack fucking shit.
Meanwhile, they'll come and harass me with 6 officers for making a 911 call. When I'm assaulted, they'll send 1 cop out to intimidate me for calling 911. And then they wonder why I call 911 and try to turn in police officers to 911. Meanwhile, the calls that I was hopefully going to be able to make with Claire probably aren't going to be made. You get to hear, obviously, there's a very real situation there. I'm not pissed off at Claire about her very real situation. I'm pissed off about the situation. I'm also pissed off at the situation that I'm currently in. I'm screwed in. See if she's able to answer this time.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Claire Jordan is not available. The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
It happens. Oh. Oh. So you had to be on the phone with a lot of people today. She did call you earlier to see if I'm all right, though.
No, honey, don't focus on my stuff. I'm just venting, but, yeah, it is federal, and I tried to file it, and they don't take it seriously. So, no, but focus on your stuff. I'm just venting, and thank you for listening. I'm just mad, because how in the ever-loving shit are people like you and me supposed to get any kind of justice if they won't do justice for a fucking 5-year-old and a 15-year-old girl?
Now, of course, we got a bully on here wants to call me a murderer. How many of these bullies have we ejected from my channel so far? Quite a few. Send that to her so she gets to see some of the bullying I endure on my channel. And then what do we do? Well, you know it. I'd use her on this channel. Pretty easy to do on the internet. It's not so easy to do with Chris Stafford in real life. Instead of people telling me to start over again and again and again and again, what they should be focusing on is the fact that I've done it already over and over again and again and again and again. I've recorded it again and again and again and again. And police take advantage of the poor, the disabled, again and again and again and again. They don't care about the truth. They care about who has the money. The way that I've been treated at every service here is horrible. It's dehumanizing. It's inhumane. I do have to shut down my computer. I feel as if I wasted the entire day yet again. But I did get some useful information from Claire, and Jesus fuck, man. This is exactly what my channel is for. Hey Claire, you literally just called during a live video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Let's see, somebody just typed, have you seen the new Ray Williams Johnson video? I don't even know who that is.
No, I haven't, actually. I was talking to my own people who were listening, but they were talking to police. They asked them to sign statements, and so I was discussing things with them. But now I am a bigger.
All right, I'm only having most mostly problems hearing what you're saying.
Okay.
All right, it sounds like the ambient noise in the background is down.
Yes. Is that better?
Yep.
Okay. I was on a phone with people that are, have been contacted by police to make statements, and so I was talking to them about it. Not trying to lead them, but letting them know why. So it was complicated.
One of the things is writing things down. People tend to, especially the police, they'll try to tell you that you can make an oral report, and then later on they'll say, well, nobody investigated anything because you never wrote anything down.
Yeah, they're having them do emails, so that it's written statements.
Yep, and that's how I started off too. One of the things I've been trying to show is that while a lot of other people, like my predators, for example, can turn things in from literally anywhere in the United States, they can literally show any little bit and piece of something that I said as evidence, but I'm not allowed to show the whole recording as evidence that they're bullshitting.
Yeah.
People, instead of, see, with my predators, they don't care. They'll make any effort they can to try to shut me up and then play victim and turn me in. Whereas the people who have been offering to help me, they're like, oh, well, here's a sandwich, here's some food, here's, a bunch of little teeny tiny things that really add up. And then later on, they throw it in my face that they did those things, which, yeah, I'm glad that they did those things, and I am grateful for them.
I'll never throw it in your face, and if I do, you have every right to call me out. You call me out with my name on YouTube. How's that? But I'll never throw it. Like, you should throw it in your face.
Well, I call you out on YouTube anyway, so.
Well, go for it. If I earned it, then I deserve it.
Yeah, the library closes here in about 35 minutes. It takes about 30 minutes for my computer to shut down, so that's going to be difficult. One thing is the most recent stuff with Chris Stafford, those all need to be turned in because those are not acceptable human behaviors. And what they're going to do is they're just going to allow Chris Stafford and Andrew Wolnez to do these things until I have a mental breakdown from it. And then they'll lock me up as if I'm a horrible psychotic loser because I'm having a mental breakdown from being assaulted.
Well,
and then
tell me exactly what you want turned in, and I'll do it. Whatever I haven't already, because I have already.
Well, that's the thing with turning it into the police here is the recordings themselves. I don't have the access to the library or a quiet environment. Obviously, same with you. The access to a quiet environment where you can actually sit down and process stuff.
I just got my daughter a step stool. She wanted help with dishes.
Nice.
Normal human things. Isn't that amazing? Look at how far we've come.
I always thought Americans were supposed to beat their children like 24 hours a day. Isn't that your responsibility as a parent?
Yeah. And now that she's got her step stool and she's going to do some dishes. And she insists.
Absolutely. That's something that I always love doing is washing dishes.
I'm going to go smoke. Be careful, okay? Okay. You can use that soap for hands, yes. And dishes, too. It's good enough for baby duckies. You can use it for your hands and the dishes. Sorry.
Well, oh.
Okay, I'm present. She's occupied with the Dr. soap and the cesspool. One of the two dishes still.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm gonna, the stuff with Andrew Wolnez should probably be turned in within the next couple of days, like with
Okay.
the actual links. And if you could, when you send it in, make sure that you add my name and probably the Oregonian and Will Chappell in it. That way that it's sent to.
Oregonian, and do you want Tillamook police? Because I don't trust them. Do you want Portland instead?
Well, that's the thing. They keep sending me back to Tillamook Police Department, telling me the Tillamook Police Department are the only ones I can go to.
Okay, well, Tillamook told me that I had the saddest sob story they ever heard, and then they did nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the other thing is, they told me that I have to go to the state troopers. State troopers said that I had to go back to Tillamook. And that's the thing about them putting my life at risk. They're intentionally, knowingly, and willingly putting my life at risk at that point.
yeah, well, that's what they did to me too. So you're not alone. It's not just you.
Well, I'm not saying it's just me. I am saying it's criminal and needs turned in. And since it happened to you
It
too.
does, and I'm trying to figure out which agency can oversee them, because they absolutely have done this to me, and they've done it to you, and that's not just me. Knowing that they've done on a bigger scale, that triggers me.
Yeah, a lot of people can't look at my evidence or they end up pulling in the corner crying to themselves saying shit like, I didn't know it was like that. I didn't know it was like that. I'm like, fuck. I didn't mean to break you. All you did was look at it.
Together, and my answer was bring it up. It was like, okay, I'll talk to you later. And it's not like it was about in tears. It was already. And, you know, so there's people out there that care. I'm trying to figure out who they are, because there's quite a lot of them in Tillamook that don't.
Well, I know that none of the officers here are acceptable people to turn it into. I also know that the interim sheriff, he's the one that
The last one that I helped with got
doesn't be in the police department.
They are misogynistic, classist bullies.
You don't have to. They've gotten to those people. Like, excuse me,
Well,
says
yeah.
I'm being victimized by the people I meet there because they're on drugs and I chose it.
I can name names as a place to bounce off or, you know, just a hole from their druggedness.
Well, the stuff with Chris Stafford and the stuff with Andrew Wolnez and the stuff from those racist little shitheads from the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot, since they all keep referencing each other and they all keep
They like to
referencing
support
Natalie.
people and make fun of them and make TikToks out of it.
Yeah. Well, since they've all cited Natalie Bollinger as an excuse, and since they keep calling me a stalker and a creeper and a murderer and continue to harass me to this day, including making fake accounts to harass me on the internet, that's the thing. It's the things that Natalie wanted to pretend like I might do, people were literally actually doing to me. She wanted to claim that I made dozens of accounts, dozens of fake accounts. I literally made 2 fake accounts, and I said who I was in both of them. Both of those were made because I needed help stopping actual abuse. When I got a hold of Natalie after leaving Virginia, it was always over the same thing, people assaulting me, and I couldn't see my friends and family, and I just wanted her to call off the dogs. What I'm dealing with now is that nobody spoke up when it made a difference.
I'm trying to, and I also have the, you know, a similar situation with myself. Just a second. What do you need? Yeah, I can warm up more tacos for you.
Oh my God, tacos!
Doesn't she sound so cute?
We were talking about delicious food and culture earlier today.
another taco. Okay. Come on. Sorry, Sean.
Oh, you're a mommy first.
She wants another taco. But you're free to listen. Just give me 2 minutes, okay? Probably less. Oh no, your taco is still here. Look. Yeah. It's not. I woke it up. I did. You want me to do it again? Privilege. Right there. Okay, here we go. Okay. It's okay. You don't have to eat cold food. Ten seconds. Okay. Here you go, honey bunny. Here you go. You might even have to blow on it. Okay, I'm here. Sorry.
All right. Do you mean me or the taco?
No, I mean you, Sean.
All right.
The taco is officially warmed back up.
Well, the thing is, it's obvious that me having to go back to the Tillamook Police Department for anything is just going to result in me being abused. I can't leave because I don't have a support network and I have no ability to leave. My vehicle is broken. I have no way to carry all of my evidence. And until I'm allowed to show that evidence in court and to the public, I'm going to continue being abused by the courts and the public.
What do you need? How can I help?
Well, I'm gonna hopefully the stuff that I was able to send you with Chris Stafford and with Andrew Wolnez, hopefully you'll be able to send that in from your end if you're able, and write a report about the best that you're able to from your end. And
Okay.
if you just send it out, make sure that you send it out to multiple people, myself included.
Okay.
That way there's more than one name on the letterhead, basically, and they can see that it's more than one person that it's sent out to.
So I'd like to send it to DOJ, DHS, and Tillamook Sheriff. Is that acceptable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I can do that.
There's 2 officers with the sheriff's department that I got some pretty big issues with. One of them is Reyes, the other one is Reeves, and Reeves is worse. But also, if you could, I might be able to send you some more videos of it too. If you could explain how the Natalie Bollinger situation is the reason I'm harmed and that I am being harmed, that would be a great help, because like I said, they keep blowing me off like this isn't happening, and this is cruel and inhumane punishment.
No, it is. And hang on, I'm looking through my email history trying to figure out which sheriffs I've actually sent this to.
When I first started sending out the emails, I was sending them out like when I forwarded the one from Natalie that I always start off with, I was forwarding that individually to like 20 or 30 different people before I was told, hey, you know what, if you link up like 5 or 6 different people's names there, then they can see that there's 5 or 6 names there that it was sent to, that it wasn't just them. And that kind of puts the fear of God into them, because then they know that somebody else might be looking and paying attention.
Well, to have to dig for the ones that I already tried to talk to and see what the names are. I have a few in here. It's a lot.
All right.
But I think I'm going to CC the people that I've already talked to for my own stuff, and then also testify on your behalf to the same people.
Yes, ma'am. That's one of the things that's good about having you being familiar with the Tillamook cops here is that I'm not bullshitting about it.
It looks like Medina.
Medina. Also, if you've had officers that you've had an issue with, or the Jim feller, that's with you having dealt with them, that gives me a jump on the situation too.
And Swanson. I think we dealt with different cops.
Medina, Swanson.
This is going to be good. This is going to be good because we're about to loop in everybody.
Yeah, same system, same protocols. The fact that they're ignoring protocols, especially when it's somebody who's alone, the fact that they literally ignore the laws when it comes to autistic adults, and the fact they try to pretend like we're all mentally ill retards. I call them names outright.
It's not just that, Sean, and I know that it's not your story, but I am going to help you on behalf of the fact that they just fuck up with you. They allowed a predator to abduct my children from Oregon to Florida. That's not one state, Brian. That's the entire country.
Yo.
And they gave him $3,800 to do it.
They stole all my money to do it and made me jump through hoops to eat up all of my time and all my money, same as you've had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even after all that.
In circles. They had me running around in circles. Oh, no, go here first. And then they'll send you over here. And then I go back and I use up all my gas. Next thing you know, I'm dumpster diving for recyclables.
Yep. And after all the work that you put in, you literally still had to go back to them same dumpsters to get recyclables to get to where you should have gone to begin with, but didn't have the ability to because you were getting empty promises from government people.
And I ended up coming straight home. And the only reason I came back to where I'm at is because the people in this town, they know me. They know I will work my ass off. They gave me a chance, and within 1 week, I had everything I needed because they knew me and they trusted me, and they knew that no matter what anybody said, that's not me. And they gave me a chance. And that's something that you're not getting out there, that I didn't get out there. And my children ended up injured because of it. I ended up injured, but what makes me mad is that you don't have anyone but yourself. And my children did not get the help that they need, no matter how much I cried for it.
Well, I absolutely am down with speaking up about the situation that you're in and your children as well. The thing with your court stuff is it's important.
I got that situation sorted out, and I want you to focus on your own things. And I want you to tell me exactly what you need, and I will get that for you because I believe you, and I trust you, and I witnessed it, and I know that you're speaking the truth, and I've seen the way you behave. I know you're, dynamic when I'm, however you want to explain it. Like, I'm not a psychologist, but, we know our own, okay? And so my family, even though right now we're on the hot plate and I'm trying to get stuff taken care of, I have my family taken care of. I have my children taken care of. I finally have people that are trying to advocate for me. So what do you want?
Well, I want to shut down my computer because the library closes in 16 minutes, but I need some sort of advocacy, civilian advocacy, not from one of these agencies, because basically, kind of like a mom does, my mom never gave a shit, so I fell through the cracks.
I'll mom you. I'll mom the hell out of you.
Yes, ma'am. I don't want to be vulnerable, and that's the thing that they're preying on. The officers know I'm vulnerable. The courts know I'm vulnerable. Chris Stafford knows I'm vulnerable. They're aware that I'm vulnerable. I have to end.
They prey on, and I'm here, and I've witnessed it with my own eyes, so it's not hearsay. And I'm here to testify for you.
If you're able to copy and paste the links to the different videos and put them in the email, that would probably be helpful.
Okay.
If you're not able to because you're stuck using the phone, I'm sorry, that's the way I'm stuck most of the time. Also, the guy that I'm staying with, he's really super nice-hearted, but he's got an intake issue, if you know what I'm saying. And that makes it so that he doesn't make the most oxygenated brain decisions.
Well, that's a lovely way to put it. That's elegant. I like it. Can I steal that?
You bet.
The most oxygenated decisions. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Anyway, I gotta shut down my computer. Hopefully
Yeah, you do that. You get yourself packed up, get where you need to go. I'm going to put together something for you. Right now, I'm good because I have other people from like Florida and stuff that are putting together statements as we speak on behalf of my family. And so I have people speaking for me. That's what I need. And you need people speaking for you. And that's what I'm about to do. So.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm gonna send you some phone numbers to some other people that they said that they'll talk to somebody about the situation. So you'll be able to listen to other witnesses too. Literally, they're making you and I both do what it is that the police were supposed to do for both of us at the very beginning.
Well, exactly. That's the problem. Yeah. So send me those numbers. I'll call them right now.
Yes, ma'am. Be safe. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Told you, not pissed off at her, pissed off at the situation, pissed off the fact that it's not just me, pissed off the fact that they try to segregate and separate. How dare you, she's a woman. How dare you, he's a man. Screw all that. Anyway, it's good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and your sister's keeper too. And no victim left behind. Not Claire, not her kids, not myself, not my sister, not my niece. No victim left behind.